I used to think I knew what living a slow, simple life was like. Living as an expatriate in France these past years, my life took a dramatic turn. Life slowed down. My days simplified. Where before I used to rush around, meet lots of friends, make all those meetings and appointments, and be in that busyness all the time. But everything seemed to slow and stop here. But then I moved. I left my beloved Alsace, and then I left the sleepy shores of the island of Corsica. And so I moved here. This part of France is a hidden gem, a small region that not many tourists and travelers seem to know about. A place where the surfers and van lifers and meditators and yogis congregate. And it's only now, here in Basque Country, that I've seen what it really means to slow down. Basque Country is by far the slowest paced region that I've seen in all of France. I'm also really inspired by this particular region in France because of how people approach work and how people approach their goals, their long-term vision for success and entrepreneurship. And I was really inspired by this delightful conversation I had with someone I met recently on the streets of Biarritz.
Basque, c'est que c'est pas évident de trouver du travail parce qu'il n'y a pas de grosses compagnies, il n'y a pas de grosses usines, etc. Donc le marché du travail est assez restreint. Donc je prends mon exemple personnel, moi j'ai un bac+5 en contrôle de gestion. Et donc quand je suis arrivé ici il y a plus de 20 ans, et ben, je me suis vite rendu compte que ça allait être compliqué de trouver du travail dans ma branche. Et donc c'est comme ça que j'ai monté Kikas et que j'ai démarré le business et tout ça. Et donc je pense que beaucoup de gens sont attirés pour venir habiter sur la côte basque et à Biarritz. Et quand on se rend compte qu'on ne va pas trouver de travail, la meilleure façon de pouvoir rester ici, c'est de créer son propre travail et donc d'entreprendre, de créer son petit business et tout ça. Donc tout le monde n'y arrive, enfin ne réussit pas, mais il y a ce côté où on se dit bon si je veux rester ici, il faut que je me crée mon propre travail et donc c'est pour ça je pense qu'il y a une espèce d'atmosphère particulière aussi avec beaucoup de petites marques locales parce que les gens ont créé leur propre business ici et à partir du moment où le business fonctionne, qu'on a sa propre entreprise dans une région comme ici, je pense qu'il n'y a pas de stress à avoir et ça réduit le niveau de stress et les gens se sentent bien dans leur environnement, on atteigne un espèce d'équilibre. Bonjour. On n'en a pas pour longtemps. On atteint une espèce d'équilibre entre sa vie professionnelle et sa vie personnelle qui fait qu'on se sent bien dans sa vie et donc il y a peut-être moins de stress que dans des grosses villes ou dans des pays qui ont une culture différente. Et par rapport à ça, par rapport aux États-Unis par exemple, j'ai souvent l'été des Américains qui découvrent la marque, qui découvrent ce que je fais. Et la première question c'est oh, mais pourquoi vous ne montez pas un autre magasin en Californie ou vous devriez faire ça, ça marcherait, ça deviendrait gros, vous gagnerez plus d'argent. Et en fait la différence je pense est ici aussi, c'est que, je reprends mon cas personnel, c'est que entre guillemets on va privilégier un cadre de vie et une qualité de vie plutôt que de faire beaucoup d'argent. Et voilà, je reviens à cette histoire d'équilibre. En fait, c'est un équilibre entre la place qu'on donne à son travail et la place qu'on donne au fait d'habiter dans une région comme celle-ci, où c'est vrai que moi qui ai 2 enfants, je suis ravi de voir mes enfants grandir ici, de passer du temps avec eux et de ne pas passer toutes mes journées à travailler, enfin toutes les journées de mon année à travailler et à prendre du temps pour autre chose. Et je pense que c'est ce qui explique aussi cette différence en termes de mentalité par rapport au travail et par rapport à la vie d'une manière générale.
Ouais.
One of the things that makes Basque Country so special is the variety of landscapes. If you take a drive 10 minutes to the east, you've got rolling green mountains. Take an hour's drive and you're in the Pyrenees, the most beautiful cascading mountains and giants and hiking trails and skiing. Basque Country is situated right on the border of Spain, so you can drive 15 minutes and enter a different country. And having this blend of so many different cultures in one small region is something that really makes Basque so special. And then you have the ocean with some of the best surfing in all of the world, the best waves, the most beautiful sand. And then there are the high-speed trains that can take us to big French cities in a few hours, like Bordeaux or Paris or Pau, one of my favorite cities in France. When I go into bookstores and libraries and restaurants, so many people speak Basque, their native language here in Basque Country. But then you also hear French and Spanish. And I've also been quite surprised at how many people speak English here in Basque Country, how many people are fluent in English or speak English really well, which is not something I've experienced in all the other regions in France. Language is one of the most important things when traveling to different countries, even if you can just speak the basics to get around and order off a menu and make small talk with people at the grocery store. Knowing a little bit of French or Spanish, if you ever decided to come to Basque Country, is so important. My favorite place to learn French is Lingoda, and I'm really grateful that they're sponsoring this video today. I've been studying French on Duolingo and all these different apps, in-person classes for years, but I have not found anything to be as helpful for me as having consistent, regular classes every week online with a native speaking teacher. There is something to be said about being corrected and having help with a native speaking teacher and having practice conversations with someone in real time. And that's something you can't get with apps like Duolingo. Having that in-person conversation practice is so key to learning French and to stay consistent with it. And that's such a big reason why I'm such a fan of Lingoda and why my French has improved so much over this last year is because of the classes I've taken with them. And so when it comes to language learning, there are small wins, big wins, and great wins. The small wins are when you can make small talk with everyday things like going to the market or going shopping, which is definitely a necessity here in France. For me, after taking classes with Lingoda this year, I've had a lot of small wins, not having to think about things while making small talk. I recently had a great win on my French language learning journey when I went to have my yearly checkup with my doctor, and I was able to understand and have a conversation with her. Lingoda is an online language learning school, and what makes it so special and cool is its language sprint, which is a 2-month intensive challenge that requires students to register for either 15 lessons per month or 30 lessons per month. And if students take part in every lesson that they sign up for, they can receive 50% cashback or 100% cashback. Free classes. Thousands of students have already taken the challenge and loved it because it not only increases your speaking confidence, but it's also incredibly motivating. If you'd like to sign up for the Language Sprint Challenge with Lingoda and make some more big, small, or great wins this year with your language learning, you can use my link down below in the description or use my code WINWITHHelena to get 20 euros off or $25 off your Sprint registration. May this new year be filled with many wins for you. I'll see you in class. One of the things I love about Basque Country is how many people surf. And the surfers are of all ages, men, women, 70, 50, 30. These surfers here in Basque Country inspire me to be present, to wait for the waves of life, to trust in the wave that I came in on, to be patient. They inspire me to make time for the sunset each day, to sit on the water with the birds, and to set aside time for play. Daily life here in Basque is so slow, so laid back. People walk barefoot. They watch the sunrise and the sunset every day. When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you went for a walk, watched the sky change, gazed at the stars, lost in their individual stories, lost in the dream of the beyond? That you lost track of time? When was the last time you sat on a bed of moss, touched a tree trunk, melted your fingertips in soil, watched the birds, and forgotten the time, forgotten what you need to do that day? Businesses close very early here in Basque, which is definitely frustrating at some times, but it aids in that reverie. There are so many unique and beautiful regions in France, each one different from the next, each one with its own unique culture and its own unique beauty and landscapes. And Basque Country is definitely one of my top favorite regions in France, just for the sheer variety of landscapes and earthly beauties. The ocean. It's been a true joy being able to experience life in so many different regions, spending 2 years in Alsace and then a few years in Corsica, and spending the summer months in the Pyrenees and the south of France and the mountains. My husband and I have really been able to get a little taste of all these different pockets of France and seen how different it is across France. So often when people think of France, they think of Paris. They automatically think of the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre, and to me, the true France is all the areas outside of Paris. And so the next time you come to Europe, I really recommend checking out these different pockets of France. Po and the Pyrenees, the south of France, and the Mediterranean and the Vaucluse region. And definitely be sure to stop by these little towns here in Basque Country near Biarritz and the border of Spain. I know that you'll love it as much as I do. All right, you guys, you see this tree right here? These trees are everywhere here in Basque Country. They're so beautiful. I don't even know what they're called. The trees here are so beautiful in Basque Country. The trees, the lushness, the rain. I swear, it feels like Kauai. It really does. When I first moved here to Basque Country, my first thought was how this place makes me feel like I'm in Kauai or Hawaii, just with the lushness and the greenery and the moist, wet air. Like, it just feels like a rainforest here. So many palm trees and just so many different types of trees and plant life. I love it. I love it here.